Hey everybody, Dan Fitzpatrick here, stockmarketmentor.com, and it is Monday. Hell of a Monday it's been. Okay, let's look at Mr. here. You'll just see some of the trades that we made here in the past. Good move on here. Made a really good trade here, where the initial buy was here, and I know some of you will go, well, I bought it at 280. Okay, great. I bought it, $108 higher. So here's the deal, though. We buy it here, set a very defined risk down here, raised stops all the way up, and was never hit. And then finally, and all the way up, we're also looking like, well, maybe we'll take a little off the table. Oh, I know. Rather than taking some off the table, let's just put in some pretty tight stops so that we give this rocket ship room to run without just taking profits on the one hand to where we're missing out on the rest of the move, but at the same time, without incurring too much risk of giving money back. And so it's one thing to be able to raise your stop to a break even, to where you say, okay, well, now I have literally zero risk in the trade. Now it doesn't matter because if the stock comes back to my entry point, I'm going to be stopped out and I won't lose money. Well, the idea of trading is not to not lose money. That's certainly a goal. It's one of the goals, but we want to be making money. And so the idea of setting stops that are too loose will make you risk more money than you want to make, or than you will make. And so there's really a balance there as far as what's the balance between where the stock is right now and where your stop would be, which is the, oh crap, I'm wrong, I got to get out level. So there are a few, it's not hard to do, but you got to do it, where you need to always balance the relationship of missing out on more profits versus being hit by losses. Where's that ultimately going to leave you? So we traded this very strategically and wound up doing really well. We didn't make as much as if we'd bought right at the low and sold at the high, but you only get to do that in theory. You don't get to do that in real time. So anyway, now let's get up to present day. So we're back here. My good buddy, Scott McGregor at Crypto Market Mentor, he follows this stuff really closely, and he was getting involved in MicroStrategy's his deal. Like he loves Michael Saylor, CEO of MicroStrategies, which is kind of turning this company into Bitcoin strategy or crypto strategy, really. The guy just buys a crap ton of Bitcoin whenever he can. And so Scott sees this move. He's in. I think he's in a couple more. So finally, the stock gets up here. My idea was to buy, because I hadn't really been following it. I'm doing a lot of stuff. And so my idea was to get it when this stock was just kind of grinding sideways. And so that one worked out pretty well for us. I'm going to look and show you where we are right now. Okay. This is our, geez, sorry about that. I'm getting vertigo. This is our active trade list with some of the recent trades that we've got. So we've got MARA up 23%. Mr. again from our 405.85. You can see that here from our 504.85. And we've got the current stop at 552.30. So that's fine. So we're up 11.5%, right? Well, so what happened today? The stock drops down at one point to 550, so we're out. All right. Well, we got a really, really nice gain on this stock, and we didn't hold it for more. Now, another way you could trade this, and it's what we've done in the past, is you set a partial stop, which is actually what I suggested. You set a partial stop just below today's intraday low. And I had set that, I don't know, somewhere right here. But this was what I was using as the intraday low. And then ultimately the stock comes down and stops us out. But so what have we done? We've done a good risk management strategy where we protect our gains, but then at the same time, we're giving ourselves room for more moves higher. Because you look at the way this is trading on a weekly chart, this thing's just running right along the upper Bollinger Band. The only time that's ugly is if I'm not in it. Then, I'm happy for others, but not as happy as I would be if I was one of them. But this is what strong stocks do. We look at some of the others, MARA, which I remember at the time saying, like, guys, it's kind of a late entry here. I acknowledge it. It's not our typical type of trade. We're in on the 28th, which I believe was, on this one. It was an I got to chase it entry, I got to get in entry. But the idea was, with all of these crypto stocks moving higher, in this case, it's kind of like better late than never, and better late than not at all. And so when you're in a momentum trade, you gotta sometimes just get in there, and then your risk is not managed by getting the perfect entry where there's all it takes is a small adverse move on the way back, and you'll say, okay, I'm wrong, and I'll get out before you risk more money. Instead, your risk management tool is, I'm going to take a small position in this because my stop kind of has to be maybe a little bit looser to account for the volatility. And so why would you take a smaller position in a stock like this? Well, because it's running so fast that if you're correct, that small position is going to get to a bigger position in a hurry. And that's what's happened here with MARA. So we're still in this stock. We're up 23% in just 6 days. So I don't know about you, but to me, that's real money. And then similarly in RIOT, we got a partial stop here at 1485, right? And so where was that? Well, it was below the morning intraday low, and then finally it did get hit right down here. By the way, this is kind of classic 59-minute trader type of trading, where you're looking hard at the first half an hour of trading or so, and then following this through. So once this thing once you could have made a trade here. I'm not going to get into detail, for crying out loud. This is a video. It's not a course. But you could have made this trade here, like, hopping in here and jumping up. You get a percent or two just on a real quick trade. But then the big trade was when this thing comes down below the open. Now you know that this stock is going to be under pressure. And you saw this, right? You did with MARA, or with Mr., and then the same thing with MARA. So you see these things happening, and you can trade accordingly if you kind of understand the strategy. But here on RIOT, we went ahead and looked at this at a 1245 entry, still moving. We've got, so it's a 20.5% gain, but we have taken some partial profits on this. Guys and ladies, this is the way you want to be trading for two reasons. First of all, because it's how you make money. But second of all, because this is how you make up for the inevitable losses that you're going to take in trading. That's part of the deal. It's called trading. It's not called winning or entitlement. I know for some of you youngsters, it's a tough deal to not be entitled to winning, but I'm sorry, it's true. There are no trophies in trading. So you want to be managing your risk all the way up. And if you can do that, you're going to wind up seeing a very few of your trades, like 20% of your trades are going to result in 80% of your profits. And that's a true statement. You can only expect the bulk of your gains to come from a very few trades. So it's kind of like when you've got one going, when you got a good one going, ride that thing until it bucks you off. Don't get off early, okay? All right, that's all I got for you today. Hope you all have an awesome evening and an even better week.